Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys have been enjoying yourself. I wanted to hop on here and do a quick tutorial, and this will be a two-part tutorial. I saw these angel wing ornaments in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, and I saw where somebody was selling them, and I thought they were so cute. This part right here is sublimation, so that's where you'll put your image on there, and then the wings they glue on the back. So it's a two-part ornament, and I saw those and I thought that would be so super cute to try. So this first video will just be the designing aspect of it. The second video will be me actually pressing the video and putting it together. The first one will be me pressing it. So I thought it was something cute. You know, everybody loves handmade things, but everybody definitely loves personal stuff. As you all know, I lost my mom and my father, so I wanted to put their image on my ornament. One thing that we noticed whenever we're buying these sublimation items, a lot of the vendors do not sell templates, or they don't offer the template. So most of the time you either have to get a ruler or a tape measure and measure the substrate yourself, or either go on Etsy and purchase the template, or you can make your own. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and move this to the side. So what I do, I'm going to go here and find my scan. All right, so I have taken one of the blanks and placed it on my scanner. I've got a DeskJet 3630, so I'm going to go ahead and click scan. And it's scanning, and whenever you scan these items, it scans it directly as it is. I'm trying to find a better way to say it. So your dimensions will be exact. It is the exact same size as your actual image is. So that takes all the guesswork out of it. You don't have to measure. It's going to scan in the exact size. So here it is right here. I'm going to click here and I'm going to do save as. And I would save it as ornament. Now I've already done that, so we don't have to save it again, but I just wanted to show you how easy. It's super easy. Just go ahead and save it. Because this one is white, there have been times where I would just take a dark piece of construction paper to put behind it to make the white pop. But because I have this shadow here, it'll trace easily. So let me go back into Silhouette. All right, so we're going to go to File and Open. And here's my ornament here. So I'm going to click OK. First thing to remember, whenever you bring this into whatever your software is, do not change the size of your image. Just like I said, this comes in as the exact measurement. So if your ornament, let's say, is 3 inches by 3 inches, whenever you scan it, it's going to scan 3 inches by 3 inches. If you can't see, and I left my glasses, so you just zoom in. Just zoom in on your software to make it closer. Going to go to my trace panel, and it's on the right hand side. It looks, I call it a little piece of toast. So select trace area. Your cursor is here. You drag your box over where you want to trace. And so you see this little yellow area here. This is what's going to trace, but I need it bigger. So I'm going to come over here to my threshold and bring it up. All right, so you see now, this is the outside of my image. Is basically the shadow. What I'm going to do is trace outer edge. So if you see here, this is a little bit bigger on the sides because of the shadow. So I'm going to zoom out, and you'll notice when I remove this scanned image, this is your template. So that's it, guys. It's so simple. And of course, you know, some people sell templates on Etsy for like $1.99 or $1 or $2. So if you don't have the time, or if you don't have a scanner, then you know you can go ahead and buy it. But you think about it, if you're buying 10 templates, that's $10. You know, you want to be a little bit more savvy, I would say, with your craft dollars, especially if you craft for to make money. Those $10 you could have bought another blank with, you know, or another cup or a mug or a tumbler or something else. So, you know, take that in consideration. Now, if you're just so super duper busy and you don't have time, by all means do that. But I just always try to look at the bigger picture. That money that I'm using, although it's only $1, if you've purchased 15 templates, $15, what could you have purchased? All right, so let me get back in here because I like to run my mouth a little bit. So I'm going to click on it, right click and copy. So over here, I'm going to right click and paste. So here's my template. One thing that I like to do, I'm going to right click and duplicate. Whenever I'm working with anything, I like to have several copies of it. So I don't have to go through the whole thing of scanning it again. Of course, we've got our scanner saved. Our scanned image saved, but I like to have several copies of something in my workspace. This here was a tumbler wrap, and let me zoom in. This is a tumbler wrap image that I bought from Etsy. And so y'all, that's something else too. Just because we buy it for one specific purpose, let's try to make these images as multifunctional as possible. You could use this for a tumbler wrap. You can also use it to make a coaster. You know, make a air freshener, because I make those too. So just because you purchase it as a tumbler wrap, you're not limited to only using it for tumblers. As long as you can manipulate the size, then you're fine. So just keep that in mind. So here's this right here. And again, I've already made another copy of it. This is a picture of my mom and my dad. I lost both of them, so I wanted to put them on the ornament. And again, just for the sake of time, I've already made 2 copies of this because I want to show you 2 different ways you can do this. So I'm going to bring my template in front of it. And as you see, you can increase and decrease the size of your image just to where it fits inside of that template, you know. And when you're using this method, you know, number one, we've got a circular template with a square image, so you may lose some of it. And so I'm just adjusting, and I hope you guys can see the circle around here. So once you do that, you can just leave it like this. And so I'm going to make 2 of these ornaments because I'm making one for my brother. And so I'm going to scoot this over to the side. All right, so I'm going to print that just as it is. I'm taking this one, and you see I left the picture of my mom and dad separate. When I tried this earlier and tried to crop it, it did not cooperate. So I'm going to place this one right here. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. All right, so we're going to put the template right there. And so I'm going to shrink it just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here because you see it's trying to come off the page, and just pull it down. Now, whenever you're doing an exact trace, you got to be real careful, and I'm going to show you how. So we've got the template in front, and you can tell that it's in front because the red line is here. You've got your image in the back. So we're going to take our cursor and drag it over both images and make sure both images are highlighted. I'm going to come over to my modify panel, and I'm going to select crop. Now, once you select crop, everything that was behind this is gone. So you see this is an exact circle. So now I take my image of my mother and father and I bring it here. And that's how it is going to cut. So I'm going to drag this over both of them. So I'm selecting this image that we just cropped and this image of my mother and father. I'm going to right click and I'm going to group it. So now whenever I move it, they're together. Because we are going to be sublimating this, one thing you notice, those red lines, those are typically your cut lines. Whenever you open something up in Silhouette now, since the update with a lot of PNGs, a lot of people want to do print then cut. So these are your cut lines. But whenever you're printing, this is going to print as well. So the way to get rid of that, we're going to take our cursor and drag it over both of them. I'm going to go to my line panel, click on line style, and then we're going to click clear. And so you see now that red line is gone. See, so here's your line style and you got your colors. We're going to go ahead and click that clear one. That way it does not print on that red the cut line. So now I'm going to go ahead and let me scoot my computer over and set my page up. So we're going to click on this page icon right here. And you see where your width is. I have an Epson EcoTank 2720, so it only prints 8.5 by 11. I know some of the larger sublimation printers print larger than that, but 8.5 by 11 is all I can do. So for your width, you're going to change that to 8.5. And then on your height, you're going to change that to 11. That way you've set your page up so you'll know how to print. So I'm going to zoom back out so you can see how my page is set up. So you see now, because normally whenever you do a print, this would be like a 12 by 12. This is your Silhouette Cameo cutting mat. But because we're doing a print and cut, you want to make sure you're arranging this to where it doesn't go off the side of the paper. So I've got them there. And so now we're going to go ahead and print. So I'm going to scoot over. And let me scoot my computer over a little bit. We're going to go to our file. And then I'm sorry, I'm scooting over everywhere. We're going to go to print. Now, one of the cool things, since the update, it shows your print preview. And the reason why these lines right here, your image will not print outside of that. So it gives you one last view before you start printing. So if you need to move or adjust anything, you can. So we're going to go ahead and select print. I need to scoot over and select my Epson EcoTank 2720. I'm going to go to preferences. And I hope you can see that. I already have one set up for sublimation. So I'm going to click on sub. That's already set on premium presentation paper matte. I'm going to select high. If you click here to more options, mirror image is already set. And you take your high speed off. That is very important for sublimation. If you have it printing on high speed, you'll get those lines going across your image. So we're going to click OK. We're going to click apply. And then we're going to go ahead and select print. Again, I have an Epson EcoTank 2720. It takes a while for it to print. All right, I thought I'd already selected print. So it'll go ahead and print those out. And I'm not going to show the print in this video because we're already almost at 15 minutes. But I will show the printed design in part 2 of this video. And again, just like I said, I wanted to do this video to show you guys the designing aspect of everything, how to create your own template, just to kind of save money and to give you practice too. It's fine to purchase templates and buy SVGs, but things that you can kind of do is you challenge yourself. That helps you grow. And that helps you become a better crafter, and it also helps you become a better vendor, because it kind of gives you, I would say, an edge, and it kind of gets you ahead of the game when it comes to the newbies that are just jumping in, that are not sure. But you have to challenge yourself in order to grow. I feel like if you want to do more, and if you want to get better, and it helps your creative juices to flow too when you're actually doing stuff yourself. So again, thank you guys for all of your support. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post another video. Drop a comment if you found this helpful. If there's something that you want to see me do, go ahead and drop that comment as well. And until then, guys, as I always say, do whatever makes you happy. And for me, that's crafting. Bye now.